Good evening. I'm Christine from Jana Marie Foundation. We're so glad that you can join us tonight. Hope is the quiet light that keeps us moving forward, even when the world feels heavy and uncertain. It may not be something we can touch or measure, but it's something that we can feel, something that guides us through our darkest moments. Hope allows us to imagine a future beyond our pain. It gives us the courage to reach out, to speak, to listen, and to connect. And it reminds us that even after loss and after heartache, after challenges we never imagined, there is the possibility of healing, of growth, and of joy. Hope isn't passive, it's a choice. Each day we can choose to hold on to it, to let it shape our actions, and to share it with others. And when we do, we create ripples that extend far beyond ourselves, touching lives, lifting hearts, and showing that even in the hardest times, we are never truly alone. Tonight, we are honored to hear from someone who embodies that kind of courage and resilience. Please join me in welcoming my friend, my colleague, and a former intern, Rachel Hinkle.
Hello, everyone. My name is Rachel Hinkle, and I work part-time here at the Jana Marie Foundation. I want to begin by thanking each of you for being here tonight and allowing me to share my story. It takes a lot of courage to show up to an event like this. Everyone here carries a story of loss, of love, and of grief. It is not easy to walk into a space where we're asked to remember those we've lost to suicide. But by showing up, you've given yourself and this community a gift. You've chosen to honor your loved one's life. You've chosen to be present with others who understand, and that is a powerful act of hope. My sister Emily died by suicide on July 25th, 2024. Most people remember her as someone whose laughter could fill an entire room. Those who knew her best knew her as a silly and full of life person. She loved Snapchat filters and playful pranks that always made our family laugh. To me, she was more than a sister. She was my role model, my biggest supporter, and the person I always wanted to be like, even with our 9-year age gap. But Emily was more than her sense of humor. She was deeply compassionate, resilient, and strong. She taught me over and over again what it meant to meet life with empathy. And even though there was a 9-year age gap between us, I always looked up to her. Whether it was joining cheer, trying to hang around her friends, or simply admiring the way she lived, I wanted to be just like her. Emily faced many challenges, especially after we lost our mother in 2016. That loss changed her as it changed all of us. But even when she was struggling, she found ways to show up for me. She pushed me to be stronger. She held me accountable when I wasn't my best self. And sometimes she would simply say, "Be nicer." Such a small phrase, but it has stuck with me, because the truth is we don't always know what someone else is going through. Emily's reminder was that kindness should be our default. I want to pause here for a moment and think about those two words, be nicer. What would our world look like if every one of us carried that message forward? If every interaction was guided by kindness, by understanding, by patience? That was Emily's gift to me, and it's something I carry every day. Some of my favorite memories of her are small but meaningful. We often went on drives singing our hearts out to Who I Am by Jessica Andrews. And in those moments, she reminded me to believe in myself the way she believed in me. I'll never forget our silly fight over a black romper just a week before she passed. It felt so small at the time, but now I see it as one of those moments that taught me strength, humility, and the importance of letting go what doesn't matter. And then there are bigger memories, like when I was in 5th grade and my mom, who was sick at the time, couldn't come on my field trip. Emily, only 19, volunteered to be my chaperone. I'll never forget how proud I was to have her there. She turned an ordinary school trip into something unforgettable, and that's who Emily was, someone who showed up for her people. But while she was always there for others, Emily sometimes forgot to care for herself. And that's one of the hardest lessons I've learned, that those who seem the strongest often need the most support. And that is why conversations around mental health matter. Checking in on one another matters, and taking time for ourselves matters. After losing Emily, I found the Survivors of Suicide Loss support group at the Jana Marie Foundation. And I'll be honest, at first I was terrified. I thought no one could possibly understand the depth of what I was going through. But when I walked into that room, I realized I wasn't alone. During my time here, I listened, I cried, I shared, and I grew. I realized that community can hold us up when we feel like we can't stand on our own, and that's the power of being here together tonight. So often, people ask me how I handle all the loss I've experienced in my life, and the truth is, I don't handle it alone. I carry Emily with me, her empathy, her laughter, her strength, and I lean on my community, my friends, my support groups, and my faith and hope. Life moves quickly and can feel overwhelming, but kindness, presence, and connection can anchor us. One of the most important ways we can prevent suicide is through connection, taking the time to check in on one another, making space for real conversations about mental health, letting someone know they're not alone. It doesn't take much. It can be as simple as a phone call, a text, a coffee with a friend. Those small acts of connection save lives. Programs like the Survivors of Suicide Support Group are vital. They remind us that healing is possible even after the deepest losses. They give us a place to grieve, a place to grow, and a place to keep a loved one's memories alive. So tonight, as we come together to hope, heal, and remember, I want to invite you to take a moment and think of the person you are remembering tonight. Think of the ways they made you laugh, celebrate their lives, share their stories, or think of the lessons they left behind. Carry that memory forward, let it give you strength, and let this community remind you that even in the darkest times, there is hope. In memory of my sister Emily, and in honor of all of those we've lost, let us commit to kindness, to empathy, and community. Let us remind one another that even in the darkest moments, there is still light, and let us carry that light forward together. Thank you.